Well, good morning, Scouters Mountain students and staff members, and of course, all of our community members who are tuning into these on the internet. You can always find the Monday morning messages on our school website. Welcome in. It is Monday, May 9th, 2022. After a rainy weekend, will it be rainy this week too? I hope not. We spent a lot of time under the covered play area last week. Will it be the same way this week? Let's sure hope not. An exciting week ahead, though, here on this Monday, May 9th. Thanks for tuning in with your classmates right here on a Monday morning. So what do we need to know today, Mr. Long? And what do we need to know this week? Well, May is Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We have lots to celebrate here at school. We have lots of kids and lots of adults who identify as Asian or from the Pacific Islands. So we're going to look at some famous people from there and, of course, celebrate the customs and culture that comes from our Asian and Pacific Islander students and staff members. Very proud to have them as a part of our community. Also, Wednesday, so not today, not tomorrow, but Wednesday is National School Nurse Day. Now, you may not know this if you don't come to the nurse's office too often, but some of you do. We have a nurse. Her name is Melissa, and we appreciate Nurse Melissa very much. You may remember some of you, we had Nurse Claire to begin the year. Nurse Claire has moved on to other schools, and we now have Nurse Melissa. So for those of you that maybe aren't feeling well during the day or get a little scratch on your knee and have to come to the office during recess time, that is Nurse Melissa who helps us, and we very much appreciate her. So on Wednesday, make sure you wish her a very happy National School Nurse Day. Thanks, Melissa, for everything you do. Tomorrow is an important day. Actually, tomorrow night after school, it's Chipotle Night for Scouters Mountain. For those of you that have been to Chipotle, it has some burritos or bowls or chips and salsa or quesadillas. And tomorrow night from 4 until 8 o'clock, it is Scouters Mountain Night. That means that, let's look at the flyer here. If you go to Chipotle with your family, or maybe you order online and you mention the Scouters Mountain PTA, we get 33% of all the sales. So you think about that, that's 1/3. So for every dollar that Chipotle makes between 4 and 8 o'clock, we get 33 cents. So you think about if a family orders $10 worth of food from Chipotle on that night, Scouters Mountain will get $3.33. Now, all that adds up for 4 hours. We can make quite a bit of money for our school, which is really a big help. It helps us buy school supplies. It helps pay for field trips. It helps pay for other things around our school. So not tonight. Save your appetite. Tomorrow night, May 10th, be sure to ask your family. And I'll send another email home to families to remind them. Ask them to join us at Chipotle, either online or in person. They can go order their food, order dinner, order a snack, and Scouters Mountain will get some of the proceeds from that. That is tomorrow night, not tonight, tomorrow night. Also, what's going on this week? Yes, I know a lot of you ask. There is a Friday Howl Assembly this Friday, so be sure to be wearing your Scouter shirts on Friday. There will be popcorn on the line. It is not a Mountain Dew Award Assembly, though, not this Friday. Those are only the end of the month. But there is a Friday Howl Assembly this Friday. That should be very exciting. And since it is May, and I've told a lot of you this, start thinking about spending your Howl tickets. Now, for those of you that are in every grade except for 5th, yes, you can save your Howl tickets for next year. Some of you are thinking about doing that, just holding them in a safe spot for the summer and saving them for next year, because you're not quite going to get to the level you want to. Maybe you are saving up for 80 and you only have 50 right now. It's going to be kind of hard to earn 30 for the rest of the year, but you can save them over the summer and use them next year. But for those of you who really want to get a prize, now's the time to start thinking about that, because there will become a time when Mr. Long won't be able to go buy your lunch anymore. We're just going to run out of days, or Mr. Long will not be able to serve you a classy lunch because there won't be enough days left in school in order to serve that. So if that's really important to you, start thinking about either spending them or just realizing that you're going to save them until next year. And that's totally fine too. So you can save them until next year. Also wanted to remind people, wow, was I ever busy this past week reading all of your notes to different staff members all around the school. Teacher Appreciation Week is now over, but that doesn't mean that we stop appreciating all of the great adults we have here at school. So especially your teachers and our recess helpers and our playground helpers and our cafeteria helpers, everyone who helps you here at school. It doesn't have to be Teacher Appreciation Week to appreciate them. You don't have to wait for a Howl ticket in order to write your teacher a note. They always like receiving letters of appreciation. So if you get some spare time and think about it, write one at a time they're not expecting it. I'm sure they would love to see that. And that doesn't go for just teachers, but any adult in our school. So Teacher Appreciation Week now over. It's in the past, but that doesn't mean we stop appreciating all the adults in our school that make our school such a great place. All right, who is celebrating a birthday this week? We have quite a few, but none today or none tomorrow. But on Wednesday, Bria Goen from Mrs. Webke's room. Jackson Stewart on Thursday. He's in Mr. Lee's kindergarten. On Friday the 13th, that's right, this week we have a Friday the 13th. Emily from Mrs. Ria's room celebrating a birthday. Then on Saturday, Daniel from Miss Boswick's room. Max on Sunday for Mrs. Olson's room, all celebrating a birthday this week. Do we have any others? We sure do. Ziona Powers from Mr. Burr's room, one of our newest students, celebrating a birthday on Sunday. Welcome to our school, Ziona. We're glad you're here. Also, Jacob from Miss Auerbach's room, celebrating a birthday on Sunday. So they still got a little ways, but we want to wish them a happy birthday early on here. Now, we did this last time. We're also recognizing birthdays in July. That would happen this week, just a couple of months ahead in July, because they won't be here for school. So let's go through those. There they are there, celebrating a birthday in July this week will be Jackson, Bennett, Julian, Brian, and Joran. Also celebrating a birthday this week in July will be Aiden and Somi and Brandon and Delilah and Beckett. Now it says what grade and what class they're in, but actually we'll have to move it ahead because they won't be in that classroom anymore in July. Also celebrating a birthday this week in July, Grayson Rolacek in Mrs. B's kindergarten. Of course, when it's time for his birthday on July 15th, he'll technically be a first grader. Not sure if he'll know your teacher yet, but you will be in first grade. So happy birthday to all those celebrating a birthday this week in May or this same week, a couple months from now in July. All right, let's get to Mr. Long's weekly challenge. Well, as we were talking about, last week was Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week, and what an exciting week it was. I probably received, and I'm not joking, I bet I received over 200 letters of appreciation that were going out to different staff members, which I love. It kept me busy for sure. My hand kind of hurts from writing you Howl tickets for all of those things, but I think it was well worth it. Let's get a look at some of them. There's one from Bennett McNeil that he wrote about Miss Carter. We haven't seen Miss Carter for a little bit. She's been absent last week. I'm sure she will be back soon, and we'll be glad to receive that letter of appreciation. There's Jordan from Mrs. Bettine's room. He wrote one about Mr. Ford. Look at the picture of Gaga Ball up there at the top. That's pretty awesome. We had one for Miss Smith from Imogene and Miss Ria's room. And it says right there in the letter, I am sad that you are retiring next year. That's right. We will no longer have Miss Smith next year. So Mr. Long is busy now trying to figure out who will be our library person next year. We have lots of people that will be considering for that job. So we should have that announcement by the end of the school year. But we are definitely going to miss Miss Smith next year and for many years to come. Did you know she's been the only librarian this school has ever had? We've been open since 2009. So that's 13 years ago, and Miss Smith has been the only librarian our school has ever had. We're certainly going to miss her. And there we see some pictures. Look at Miss Smith on the right. She's up there messing with that big book. Her and Mrs. Martinez were getting it back up there because we recolored it a little bit. There's Mrs. Graham down there on the bottom floor, look at and just kind of seeing what's going on up there. Miss Smith's kind of wild. She's up there on that ledge. Then we have Miss Neal's room on the left. They were celebrating Teacher Appreciation Week, and look, you can see on their board, they wrote something to me. It says, Mr. Long for being the best principal ever. That's very nice. Miss Neal's group, I always love coming visiting you, along with all the other school classrooms in our school. So thanks for that cool picture. Also, there is the staff. We appreciate it. What a great group of people. Look at all those. Can you find your teacher up there? I think most of them were here after school and we took that picture. Look at that. Lots of smiles and a great, great group of people. You guys and I for sure am lucky to have that great group of people working with you each and every day here at school. So remember, Teacher Appreciation Week, well, it's not officially happening right now, but that doesn't mean you still can't say thank you to your teacher once in a while, either out loud or in writing. I'm sure they would appreciate that. So what are we doing this week for the challenge? Well, as I told you before, it is Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and we've done this before during special months. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing this week as we study an important person in Asian and Pacific Islander history. Now, there is your person right there. Now, if you know who that is, I'm going to guess you probably don't quite yet, but you can look that up, and I'm actually going to tell you in a little bit who this person is, a very famous person in Asian and Pacific Islander history, and I probably think he's an inventor and you've probably used what he invented. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. There he is again. His name is Pedro Flores. Do you know who Pedro Flores is? I know lots of you will be Googling that and looking up who Pedro Flores is, and you'll see why I think he is so important. He developed something. He was the inventor of something that I think some of you have used quite a bit. We'll find out what you come up with. How do you earn 5 Howl tickets on your own time? Okay, unless your teacher says it's okay. Write at least 3 for kindergartners through 2nd grade, or 5 for 3rd through 5th graders. 3 or 5 sentences about why Pedro Flores is important in our history. What did he invent, and why is it so important? Make sure you put your name on it and turn it into the office before Friday so you can earn your 5 Howl tickets. All right, can't wait to see what you come up with about Mr. Flores. He is an inventor and invented something pretty cool. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. All right, let's move on. Before we move on, I always have some fun Scouters photos or videos to show you. Let's see what we had during the past week. We had a ton of classy lunches. There's Aaron and CJ and Holland on the left, and there's Bennett and Lucas, and who else is over there? We got lots of different people, Bennett and Lucas, and lots of different 4th graders. My goodness, I see Hudson's hair behind him. I see Connor back there. I see Corbin. Lots of people there, all celebrating a classy lunch. There's another one. Okay, so there's 3rd graders for Mrs. Ria's room. There's 1st graders for Miss Ireland's room. And do you notice what they're doing? Yeah, that's becoming kind of a tradition now. When I take your picture, you kind of make these funny faces. So yeah, I just couldn't resist. We had to zoom in on those. So there's Lucas on the left. There's Kylie in the middle and Johnny on the right. So if you're going to make a goofy face like that, yeah, we're going to zoom in and have a look at it. I think we should put those in the yearbook for next year. Look at those 3. So Lucas is in 1st grade, Kylie in 3rd, and Johnny in 1st grade. Pretty fun to see all of those right there. All right. Speaking of funny faces and things to make you laugh, let's look at our joke of the week, how we always wrap up this week. And this week comes from a 5th grader. Always nice to see 5th graders chiming into the Monday morning messages. So Hayla and Mommy and Mrs. Grimm and Mrs. Marston's 5th grade has our joke of the week. Let me make sure I turn up the volume here so you can hear Sohaila with her joke of the week. And here we go. Take it away, Sohaila.
What do you call a huge pile of cats?
What do you call a huge pile of cats? What do you call a huge pile of cats? Kitty litter. What else has to do with cats? Paws. A possum pile. What do you call a huge pile of cats? All right. Let's let Sohaila tell us. Sohaila, what do you call a huge pile of cats?
A meowton.
A meowton. Gotcha. Not a mountain, a meowton. Very good, Sohaila. Always love hearing the jokes of the week. If you have one, you can record it at home and email it to Mr. Long. Send a video of you telling it. Or you can ask Mr. Long to video it himself, which I'm happy to do. Or you can ask your teacher. Maybe they're willing to do it in some time where they're not busy teaching you. But let's get those jokes of the week. I have a few turned in right now that we'll use in upcoming weeks, but I can always use more. If you're emailing from home, there's the email address right there, longc@nclac.k12.or.us. All right, that's super loud. And have a great week ahead, unless you're sticking around for the Pledge of Allegiance. We do have a special Pledge of Allegiance led by one of our classrooms. If you haven't done so already, or you do it differently in your classroom, you can sign off right now. Have a super week ahead. Can't wait to see all of you up and down the hallways this week. And hopefully the weather will improve this week. If you are sticking around, the Pledge of Allegiance is coming up in 3, in 2, and in 1. Stand by for the Pledge of Allegiance. Who's going to be leading it this week? Well, that is going to be none other than Mrs. Ria's 3rd grade class. So they are standing by, ready to lead you in your flag salute. So get ready to stand. Here they are right here. Listen closely. Let me make sure. Whoa, let me pause it right there. Okay, because I know you're not quite ready yet. Let me back it up just a little bit. I don't know why my slide moved ahead. Okay, everybody ready? There's Mrs. Ria's group right there. Let me make sure I have the volume. Yep, you'll be able to hear them. Let's let me get all set up. Okay, Mrs. Ria's group, take it away. Here we go. All right, I'm going to pause it for just a second while all of you get stood up. Please stand, face your flag in your classroom. Okay, Mrs. Ria's group, take it away. Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thanks, Mrs. Ria's group. Great job in third grade. Now we will move on to the end. Let me turn down the volume so we don't blast you out here. And we'll move on. There we go. Have a great week ahead, everyone. It is Monday, May 9th, 2022. We have a fun week ahead. An assembly at the end of the week. Chipotle night tomorrow night. Have a great week ahead. Try to stay dry. If the weather is raining outside, don't forget your coats on your way out to the playground. And I am looking forward to seeing you in the cafeteria and up and down the hallways all week ahead.